Renee Bennett is a young woman with average looks and fitness who feels insecure about her appearance. She attends SoulCycle daily as part of her fitness routine. One of her classmates at SoulCycle is Mallory, who is confident and attractive. Renee constantly feels out of place because she doesn't fit society's standards of beauty. She often notices people treating her differently, and even babies cry when they see her, which only adds to her self-doubt. Renee works in a small basement office in Chinatown, managing the website for Lily LeClaire, a high-end cosmetics company. She dreams of working at their glamorous Fifth Avenue headquarters. Her coworker in the basement is Mason, and her best friends, Jane and Vivian, support her through her struggles. Renee's daily work involves emailing website traffic reports to corporate headquarters by 11 a.m. However, one morning, the server goes down, and Renee and Mason are unable to send the report electronically. As a result, Renee is forced to print the reports and deliver them to the corporate office in person. This task feels overwhelming for Renee because she usually doesn't dress up for work. She hasn't showered that morning, and she's using a Bed Bath & Beyond bag as a purse. When she arrives at the office, she overhears an intern mentioning that the headquarters is looking for a new receptionist. The role involves being the face of Lily LeClaire, emphasizing beauty and charm. Renee briefly considers applying but changes her mind after reading the job description. The emphasis on physical appearance makes her feel unqualified and reminds her of her insecurities. That evening, she wishes deeply that she could be unbelievably pretty, even just once in her life. One night, after watching the movie Big, Renee Bennett makes a wish at a fountain, hoping to become beautiful. She eagerly waits for something to happen, but nothing changes. Feeling disappointed, she moves on with her routine. The next day at SoulCycle, during a workout session, Renee has a freak accident. She falls off her bike, hits her head, and loses consciousness. When she wakes up, her physical appearance remains exactly the same, but her perception of herself has completely transformed. Renee now believes she is unbelievably beautiful, and this belief fills her with unshakable confidence. With her newfound outlook, Renee starts approaching the world differently. At a dry cleaner, a man named Ethan casually starts a conversation with her. Renee misinterprets his friendly demeanor as flirting and boldly insists they exchange phone numbers. Ethan, amused and intrigued by her confidence, agrees. Encouraged by her self-assurance, Renee decides to apply for the receptionist position at Lily LeClaire's corporate office. During the interview, her enthusiastic admiration for the brand and her strong, confident personality impress CEO Avery LeClaire. Despite not fitting the typical image of a receptionist, Avery decides to hire Renee, inspired by her unique energy and passion. Renee begins to thrive in her new receptionist role. Her bold personality and confidence quickly catch the attention of Avery's brother, Grant, who is one of the country's most eligible bachelors. Renee impresses him with her charm and unique perspective, solidifying her position within the company. Renee also takes the initiative in her personal life. She asks Ethan, a kind and unassuming man who works in operations at CNN, out on a date. During their outing, they attend a bikini contest, where Renee confidently participates alongside women with idealized figures. Despite not winning the competition, Renee wins over the crowd with her charisma and self-assuredness. She tells Ethan that she doesn't need external validation to feel beautiful, a moment that highlights her self-confidence. Ethan admires her strong sense of self and shares that he's still figuring out who he is. Renee appreciates his honesty and vulnerability. Later, she invites him to her apartment, where their connection deepens, and they share an intimate moment. At Lily LeClaire, Renee quickly earns respect from her coworkers by offering valuable insights into the company's new diffusion line for Target. She points out that the creative team's focus on luxury doesn't align with the needs of Target's clientele. For example, she explains that Target shoppers buying blush would expect a brush to be included in the packaging, a practical detail the team had overlooked. Renee also highlights how the perfect-looking salesgirls at high-end stores discourage average women from shopping there, as they feel intimidated and out of place. She explains that this is why many regular women prefer the anonymity of supermarket aisles for their makeup purchases. During one of their conversations, Avery confides in Renee about her insecurities, particularly about her unique voice, which she believes undermines her authority. Avery later invites Renee and Ethan to a dinner meeting with Grant and the company's founder, Lily LeClaire, who is also Avery and Grant's grandmother. At the dinner, Renee impresses Lily with her charm and relatable ideas. Wanting to gain Lily's favor, Avery invites Renee to join her and Grant at an important business meeting in Boston with Target's team to pitch the diffusion line. However, Renee's newfound confidence begins to affect her relationships negatively. She starts to look down on visitors to LeClaire who aren't glamorous or fashionable. She also alienates her best friends, Vivian and Jane, by prioritizing exclusive parties with her coworkers over spending time with them. During a group date, Renee dismisses her friends' attempts at conversation and tries to make them seem sexier, leading to a heated argument. Feeling criticized, Renee storms out, further straining their friendship. In Boston, Grant makes romantic advances toward Renee. While she is momentarily tempted, she avoids a near kiss when she receives a message from Ethan. Conflicted and overwhelmed, Renee locks herself in the hotel bathroom. While questioning her sense of self, she slips and suffers another head injury after falling in the shower. When she wakes up, her perception of her appearance has returned to normal, and she sees herself exactly as she is. Devastated, Renee believes that the magical transformation she experienced has been reversed. Convinced she has lost her confidence and beauty, she returns to New York alone. She isolates herself in her apartment, ignoring calls from Ethan and Avery, and falls into unhealthy habits, binge drinking and eating junk food. Feeling hopeless, she eventually shows up at Vivian and Jane's apartment, drunk and miserable, to apologize for how she treated them. However, her friends are hurt by her earlier behavior and reject her apology, leaving Renee feeling even more alone. Assuming Ethan will no longer be attracted to her now that she sees herself as her old self again, Renee decides to break up with him. She calls him shortly after running into him in person, mistakenly believing he didn't recognize her. Ethan, heartbroken and confused, struggles to understand what went wrong. Desperate to regain her confidence, Renee returns to SoulCycle to recreate the accident that sparked her transformation. However, despite pushing herself through the workout, nothing happens, leaving her feeling even more defeated. In the locker room, Renee encounters Mallory, her beautiful and seemingly perfect acquaintance, crying and upset after being dumped. Surprised, Renee listens as Mallory confides in her. Mallory reveals that she struggles with low self-esteem and feels people assume that beautiful women are unintelligent. This conversation gives Renee a new perspective, helping her realize that insecurities are universal, regardless of appearance. When Renee learns that Mallory is auditioning to model for the LeClaire diffusion line, she realizes that the company is once again misjudging their target audience. The use of perfect-looking models doesn't align with the brand's goal of appealing to everyday women. Determined to address this, Renee decides to take action. She crashes the product launch event and interrupts the presentation. To make her point, Renee shares her own story, using her before and after photos to explain her journey. In the process, she comes to a powerful realization: there was never any magical transformation. She had always looked the same. It was her confidence and self-perception that made the difference. Renee delivers an emotional speech about self-acceptance, urging women to embrace themselves as they are. As part of her presentation, Renee unveils a collage of diverse women, showcasing beauty in all forms. The collage includes pictures of her friends Vivian and Jane, a heartfelt gesture that touches them deeply and helps repair their friendship. Impressed by Renee's honesty and insight, Grant and Lily praise Avery for her decision to hire Renee. They recognize that Renee's authenticity and understanding of their new audience have been key to the success of the diffusion line. Finally, Renee goes to Ethan's apartment to apologize. She explains that her recent actions and their breakup stemmed from her own insecurities about herself, not from how she felt about him. Ethan reassures her, telling her that in his eyes, she has always been the most beautiful woman in the world. They reconcile, their relationship stronger than ever, both confident and happy in themselves and with each other. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.